Oh, welcome back. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. I forgot that I was, oopsie daisy. I thought that my intro screen was looping. But that's fine, that's fine. Welcome back. Make sure you hit that like button. That would be very much appreciated. I hope everybody's doing or having a great time and is doing still good. Looks like we're seeing a bit of a downturn here on the S&P. Look at that. That's very fast, right? That's like, damn, interesting. Everything just going negative again. Oh my gosh, stocks can't go up anymore. So I wasn't there for the first live stream today. Obviously, many people probably already noticed that. I actually wasn't feeling so well. I had a lot of pain in my lower chest. I still have pain in my lower chest, but I feel better now after having taken some painkillers. I don't know what it is, but I have an appointment with the doc, so I'll figure out what it is very soon. Make sure you hit that like button if you just joined. That would be appreciated. But yeah, we're going to be streaming until market close, obviously, for Power Hour. We have about 48 minutes left. So yeah, C3.ai is going down so much. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look what happened to C3. It is so incredible. I mean, just look at this. Let's take a look at the 1 hour chart. C3 went as low as, let me check, 27.7. I don't know why, but somebody decided to just keep on selling. Probably a big whale. You can see that the volume, look at the volume, right? When was the last time that the volume was this high? Pretty much never. I don't think so. So this today was a, I think it's probably an institutional seller. Really, I don't think it was retail. I don't think it was small institutions. You just can see at the volume, right? Huge amounts of volume being dumped. It's incredible. On the 1 hour. It's probably highest volume since the IPO. Look at that. Highest volume since the IPO. That's today right now for C3. But yeah, regardless, I think C3 had amazing earnings. I think the company's doing good. I think they're going to be growing quite nicely. I said that I would be selling my shares if C3 would have bad earnings. They didn't have bad earnings, so I decided to buy about $30,000 worth of C3 today, and I think it was a good choice. You can see it's already starting to recover. I think C3.ai is it's at a very cheap price for 40% growth, right? So they're growing at about 41 percentage points, 41% growth on C3, which is pretty sweet. So I like what I'm seeing here. It's going to take some time for it to recover at this point, but we do have some good news there. Big downgrades, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter that it's getting downgraded. The growth is there. They're starting to finally grow, and I think this is going to just keep on going, right? We got positive guidance for the next quarters. So yeah. What else can I say? But it's really surprising for me because I thought today was going to be like a very positive day for C3. Apparently it wasn't, right? So what can you do about that? You can't really do anything about that, right? You get good earnings. It beats the estimate. You can see right here, they beat the estimate by about $1.3 million. Surprise on EPS. They did everything right, and they sold at the bottom. So at the bottom, they kept going down. We have the largest downturn with regards to volume pretty much since IPO, which was 1 year ago, which is kind of surprising. But that's how things go, right? Institutions don't like it. Well, they're going to sell it, but I like it, and I'll be buying it, so no problem. I'll take those sweet C3.ai shares at 29, 28, 27, no problem. Yeah, Sheg is doing amazing, looking pretty amazing there. If you can see this pattern here, this is a bit of an ascending wedge. So it could be breaking out to the upside, get back to $30 and above, which is looking pretty sweet. Keep in mind, Robinhood is still going down, although it's not down right now, but it was down today for the most part of today because of the insider selling that's happening. About 31 million shares became available for selling yesterday. And yeah, a lot of people are selling their shares, which is why the stock remains relatively low. I mean, look at this. UiPath is sitting at 43. SoFi sitting at 16. Like, what the hell? Alibaba sitting at 121.6. Like, what is happening, right? Like, what the actual what? Nano Dimension at 4.4. BNGO 3.7. Facebook 310. Palantir 19.5. You know, C3 29.6. These are some amazing dips. You know, look at that Neo pulling back here, getting back to 35. Only thing I'm going to say here is just there's a lot of opportunities right now. There's a lot of opportunities. Many stocks are sitting at severe discounts. And I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of people out there are going to miss out on these discounts. Because either they went all in and they can't get into these, or they decided to hold off and, I don't know, buy Apple or something, or maybe just stay cash. You can see that the VIX is starting to pull back right here, which is predictable, right? We did expect the VIX to be coming down. It is coming down. The dollar is still going up slightly. People like to have cash because they want to see their cash get devalued. I mean, there's so much inflation going on right now. It just doesn't really make sense to be holding a lot of cash. You got to have some cash, but you don't want to have too much cash. But it does seem like the dollar is going up. It just keeps on going up back to back to back. And it has to do with the fact that the taper is going to be, it's going to accelerate, right? So we're going to see an acceleration of the taper, which will, I think, have a quite a negative impact on everything here. I think it's probably already priced in, though, at this point. But yeah, let me just welcome everybody to the stream. Welcome to Jude, Shazeb, Unai, Fadeda, James, Calicat, J-Max, Alex Whiteside, Jaccarini, Ronaldo, Andrew, Pedro, LEC, Jared. Welcome back. Hit that like. Let's get to 100 likes. That would be very sweet. We have about 40 minutes left. And yeah, so far so good. I am not afraid. The whole market is afraid. Everybody is fearful. And my AirPods just fell out of my ear. Very awkward. Everybody is fearful right now. Everybody's panic selling. And guess what I'm doing? I'm not panic selling. I am panic buying. Right? While everybody's panic selling, I'm panic buying. I'm like, oh gosh, everything is dipping down. I got so much cash to be buying in the dip, and I'm just buying left and right. And I've said it before. I'm buying Bumble, Shag, UiPath, Uber, Robinhood, Virgin Galactic, Palantir, Neo, you name them. These are all stocks that I am bullish on long term, and I think that as it's dipping, it's an opportunity to be dollar cost averaging. Now, there's a lot of people that don't have cash on the sidelines, and I feel bad for those people. It is what it is, but let this be a lesson. You got to have cash on the sidelines. You can't just be in the markets and have no cash. It's a big problem. I think there's a lot of people out there that just go all in and they don't look back. And I think that is it's not a really good strategy, but we can all learn, right? I am panic buying. I'm gonna keep that one. I'm gonna write that one down. Hold up. Let me just quickly put on some music. I love to put on some music as markets are becoming volatile. There we go. I'm listening to Buy the Dip by Meet Kevin. Woo! Let's go. Okay, so I bought some Alibaba at 120. I think I managed to buy some before, or as it was going to 119, which is just so nutty. It's like, imagine, would you have ever imagined to buy Alibaba at 120? Like, what the freaking hell is happening to the market right now? And it's still, that's the funny thing, right? So the markets are still green and they're still going up. Yet we have a stock like Alibaba, which is just unbelievable, sitting at a market cap of like below 350 billion. Name me one company that is a tech company like Baba that has revenues like this. There is not a single company out there that has revenues like this, with a market cap like that, with a growth rate like that. Obviously in China, but I still think it's just, I think it's going to bounce back very, very viciously. I'm just really excited. I am really excited to be able to even get this opportunity to get into these dips, right? When are we going to see Santa Claus? I think right now, because of Jerome Powell coming out and saying that he wants to accelerate the tapering, we're going to have to wait until the middle of the month, because we have the debt ceiling, coming up on the 15th. We got the CPI coming up on the 10th of December. So I think for the next week or two, the markets are going to be a little cautious. So we're going to see more consolidation, if anything, just more sideways movement. However, after the uncertainty has been addressed, I think we're going to rally until the end of the year. We're going to get that Santa rally. I still think it's going to be coming up. I think that this correction that we're currently seeing is because of the recent developments, right, with, Jerome Powell. And by the way, we did say that the S&P was going to come down. I think we might have said that about the NASDAQ too, just back to around this level max, right? So that was our lowest level. But yeah, we've seen it going down, right? NASDAQ was down about 6 percentage points. It can go lower, of course. I would say it would be a bit irregular. We have several corrections already. We had the 3% correction. Now we have a 6% correction. In September, we had a 10% correction, I believe. Or was it an 8% correction? I think it was. Oh, yeah, 8.5% correction. So it's not like the market ain't correcting. We've got several corrections back to back. And we also have the monetary policy going, fiscal policy going, the 0% interest rates, good earnings. Short term, I think we should still be fine. But because of Jerome Powell coming out and saying, "Hey, we might actually taper faster," that has been the catalyst to the downside, and obviously the Omicron variant adding some uncertainty here. But I still believe the hedge funds and the institutions, they had their excuse to sell, so they sold, and I think they're going to get back in. I don't think this is going to be a super bear market or anything just yet. So I am a buyer. And I'm going to keep on buying. We got several donations, I believe. We got a $5 donation from Cheeto Killer, the game collector. Thank you so much, Cheeto. DD update, please. It's crazy how C3 is cheap, from 150-ish to 27. I bought C3 like crazy today. Yeah, I think that what happened today with C3 is, I think a whale just kind of got out of it. And because if you check the volumes, just check the volume right here, right? This is the single largest day of volume since the IPO. In fact, I don't know if you can see this, but it's more volume than the IPO. That does say something about this. So I still believe that C3.ai is going to do good. I think it's a matter of time. I'm telling you, they had amazing earnings. I loved it. I love the earnings report. I love the web call. I said if C3 was not going to perform good, I would be selling all of my shares. They overperformed. I am telling you, C3 is a good company. I think it's going to rally. This is just a fluke. Some hedge fund decided to get out or something. Or maybe, I think, yeah, probably that. Look at the volume. Look at that volume, right? That is crazy. Crazy amount of volume in one single day. So I still believe C3 is cheap. It's sitting at 29.6. It's one of the cheapest prices we're ever going to get for C3.ai, sitting at a market cap range of about $2.9 billion, of which they have $1.1 billion in pure cash. They're growing at about 41% per quarter. They're planning to grow at roughly around that level for the next 2 quarters at the least. I am fairly convinced that C3 is a massive buying opportunity right now. If it wasn't for the bearish market today, if it wasn't for that unlucky time that this hedge fund or institution, I don't know who it is, decided to just offload all their shares, I am telling you, this company, from here on out, the story has changed. Growth is returning. They're going to start growing faster and faster. No more 17% growth, no more 25% growth, no more 29% growth. We're talking 40% plus Palantir kind of level growth. In fact, they're going to be growing faster. Obviously, they have less revenue, so it's easier to grow faster. But I am fully confident that this company is going to be able to do good. And I loaded the boat. I bought $30,000 worth of C3.ai today. And we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. My average is sitting close to 40, by the way, because I had already bought it. I think I bought it at 170, 160, 150, and I had to average down by selling back and forth, had some losses over time. But I think it is worth it. I think right now this is the turning point for C3, and I'm very grateful that I'm able to be a part of this company at this price. It's unbelievable. We're getting it at some point it was $13 before below the IPO price. I mean, I'm speechless. So that's so that's happening. Tired of hearing the word C3. Yeah, I kind of get you. I am telling you, this could be the turning point. I don't care what anybody says about any kind of price target or analyst or something. I wouldn't be surprised if JP Morgan and those banks are going to start buying C3.ai right now, heavily, at this dip that we're seeing. Because usually, from what I know, I've been in the market for about 7 years. From what I know, I remember when these analysts were bearish on a Tesla, right? So Tesla, they were like, oh yeah, it's going to go to $10 or $20. This was a couple of years ago. And they started buying. The institutions started buying as they were bearish on Tesla. And then guess what? And then we had this rally come up for Tesla. It went to $100. It went to $200, and then all the way to $1,000. So I would not be surprised if these big banks started loading up on a company like C3 with a severe dip like this. I mean, this is fairly severe. We hit $27.5 per share today, which is, for me, was surprising. But look at the volume. This is pretty much an institution that sold off their C3.ai shares. Highest volume since IPO. Highest volume since IPO, around the same levels of volume. Alrighty, so I just wanted to quickly cover that, get that out of the way. People saying, Gara, C3 is going down. Yes, I know it's going down. It's unlucky that this institution is selling. I do still believe that this company is going to perform. They're going to have faster growth, more revenues. It's going to be fine. I would say today's maybe the turning point, and from here on out, we'll see higher levels. Hold up. Baba is starting to bounce back a little bit. Robinhood is kind of staying flat. Gosh, that kind of sucks. That is really unfortunate. I mean, Robinhood is still sitting low because the insiders are selling Robinhood like freaking crazy. UiPath sitting at 42.8. Wow. Beyond Meat sitting at 68. CRISPR sitting at 76. These are some crazy levels. Sheg doing phenomenal, right? Up 5 percentage points. Bumble sitting at 32. Wow. It's just unbelievable. Palantir sitting at 19.6, just casually sitting there, right? I think we broke this support, and now we're sitting. We're sitting around 19.5 ish. One sec. Neo's sitting at 35.9. I think Neo is pretty nice at the moment. Lucid is finally coming down. Jeez. Yeah, my short on Lucid is printing. It's sitting at 48. I don't have that much shorted on Lucid though, but it is printing. Nasdaq is going up 1%, S&P going up about 1.7%, with the Russell going up about 2.9%, and we have about 30 minutes left until the market is going to close. One sec. Virgin Galactic sitting at 15.12. Robinhood is still pulling back. Gosh, that's painful. Baba still heading up. Remember, Baba hit about I think it hit 119.6, and now sitting at 122.35, which is quite nice. Yeah, today it's just for C3. It's going to be a negative day, right? You can't have look at the volume. My gosh, look at the freaking volume. You can't have that much selling volume and expect the stock to be up. This is very unlucky. The probability that this happens today on an earnings that was good, I don't think it's a very high probability. Look at the volume, right? This was the past year. We cannot find a single day where the volume was as negative and I would say at that height of just selling. It's unfortunate, but sometimes that's how things go, and you have to keep in mind, while stocks do go down, this gives us an opportunity to buy lower. So long as the fundamentals stay appropriate, then I think it's gonna rebound. And yes, it might seem very gloomy. There's a lot of doom talk. Oh, it's gonna go bankrupt. Oh, it's gonna go to $20. I know. Look at the fundamentals. Judge the company by the fundamentals, not by the price. The price does not matter that much right now, because obviously it's this one institution selling a boatload of C3, or maybe several. The price is starting to recover. C3 sitting at 29.72. Go through that earnings report. Do an analysis on it. Listen to the web call. We did that yesterday. It's a good earnings report. They have good and better guidance for the coming quarters. I would not be surprised if we just bounce all the way back up in the coming weeks. We get back to 50, probably $60 at this point, with the price to sales ratio sitting so freaking low. But it's just unfortunate, right? This selling pressure that's just coming out of nowhere. It's insane. I haven't seen anything like this the past year with C3. It's I wouldn't be surprised if the big banks start buying this company right now, and it just starts recovering back up. But it's also going to be quite dependent on the interest rates, the 10-year yield, and everything else. So far, it does seem like the 10-year yield is just going to be staying low, and it's going to be consolidating. So I don't see that being a bit like any kind of danger. Harry says, I had to subscribe today just to say hello, Gara. Yeah, the name is Gara, and thank you for subscribing, Harry. Appreciate that. But yeah, to the people that haven't subscribed, do make sure you subscribe. That would be awesome. Hit that subscribe button. Keep in mind, normally we are live from Monday till Friday, 8:45 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. for market open, and 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. for market close. Today I wasn't able to stream for market open because I had a lot of pain, in my lower chest, which was kind of random. So I couldn't bike to the office, which was unfortunate. I'm feeling quite a bit better now, which is cool. And I felt a lot of pain from C3 going down as well, I have to say. C3 was down like 9% at some point, which is quite a lot. But yeah, I'm also happy at the same time. The company's been doing pretty well. I think I will remain bullish on C3 regardless of this leg to the downside. This is just providing us a cheaper entry point, a cheaper point for us to average downwards to. And that's all I am seeing here. All right. Also, make sure you hit that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. Let's go. C3 was up 7% after hours. Yeah, it's one of the whales sold out. I don't know why they just decided to sell out. Doesn't mean anything really. Maybe they needed the liquidity. Who knows? from my perspective, I viewed the earnings as positive. I didn't see much negative there. Yeah, so the markets are green overall. I mean, look at that. Nasdaq up 1%. The S&P is up 1.6%. Dow Jones 2%. You know, the Russell 2.7%. But regardless of that, I mean, the Russell's still down 10%. The Dow Jones is still down 5%. You can see right here the Nasdaq is down about 4.3%. The S&P is down about 3.3%. So overall, the indices, while they're up today, it's not like they're actually sitting at all-time highs or anything like that, which is providing us some juicy discounts in the markets. And I'm pretty darn happy that I'm able to buy some of these discounts. I've been buying Bumble, Sheg, GGPI, a little bit of Snapchat, a little bit of Twitter, a little bit of Beyond Meat, a little bit of CRISPR, which I can now, I guess, flag green. Oh gosh, I can't flag it for some reason. Anyway, UiPath. I didn't buy SoFi, which I should have probably bought more SoFi, but I did buy Robinhood. I bought Virgin Galactic, Alibaba. I'm buying more. I'm not buying semiconductors, very expensive. Bit of Nano Dimension. I bought a lot of Facebook because Facebook came back down to the lower 300s, which is a nice price to be buying at. Market cap of 860 billion. I think Facebook is cheaper than Tesla at this point. Palantir was looking pretty juicy. C3.ai, obviously been buying that as well. I have like a very small amount of cash right now because I've been buying the dips. So I think I will be fine for the coming time. I don't think I'll be buying a whole lot of shares. I will be using that for just on the sidelines. And yeah, so yeah, I'm very, very glad that once again, you know, we're getting another opportunity to buy low. Gara, did you paper hand C3? No, I did not. I did not paper hand C3, and I will not. I will not paper hand C3. That's not a good idea. Alrighty. Okay, so Baba is bouncing. Okay, Alibaba going positive, right? It hit 119. Let's just put that into perspective. This company, just like 1 week ago or something, no, 2 weeks ago, it was sitting at 170. It came back down 30%. And that's at the bottom because this company used to be valued at $300 a share, $250, etc. So we're at the bottom of the bottom, basically. And this is all happening because there's so much fear in the markets, right? I can show you that right now, and I will show you. Let's see if we can show that on screen. So this is the Fear and Greed Index. I like to show the Fear and Greed Index just to showcase what investors and traders and speculators are all feeling right now. Right now most people are just feeling very fearful, extremely fearful right now. You can see that here, 25 extreme fear. To some people, some people might remember that we covered this just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and it used to be sitting at extreme greed. And you might remember that I was very cautious. I was pretty much saying, hey, if you can take some profits right now, some profits off the table, that would be a good idea. You need to, probably have some capital on the sidelines, about 20 to 30% capital, 20 to 30% cash usually works. Because the markets were kind of overextended and, sentiment was sitting at extreme greed. It was going from 60 to 70 to 80 to 90. Now we're sitting at extreme fear. And there is this little saying, obviously, a bit of a cliche, but when everybody is greedy, you want to be fearful. And when everybody's fearful, you want to be greedy. What is happening right now? People are extremely fearful. Stocks are getting down to all-time lows. They're going down to 25-week lows. And so what do you want to be? Do you want to be fearful? Do you want to sell at the bottom? Or do you want to buy at the bottom? Is the market going to crash tomorrow? We don't know. But the probability that the market is going to crash tomorrow is fairly low. It happens maybe once a decade. I would say We already crashed in 2020. So, looking at this here, market momentum, fear, junk bond demand is sitting at extreme greed, which is kind of interesting. We have stock price breadth, extreme fear, market volatility, extreme fear, stock price strength, extreme fear as well. Safe haven demand, extreme fear. Put and call options, look at that, going through the roof. Highest levels that we've seen in the whole year. Everybody's shorting, everybody's going all in on puts, and you can see the graph over time. We're sitting at the bottom of the barrel of where sentiment usually goes, and that is exactly where I tend to buy stocks, and that's why I magically am able to make profits consistently, because I'm doing the opposite of the masses. When everybody's selling, I am buying. When everybody's buying, I am selling that stock to them. And this is not consistently always profitable, but usually I would say if you can be 51% more profitable than how much you're losing, you're gonna make some money. So obviously this is all not financial advice. This is how I go about things. And so far, I mean, extreme fear. So what do you want to do? Join the fear crowd or be greedy? I mean, we'll see what's going to happen. I mean, obviously things can get worse. We have seen things get worse over time. Let me see if I can fix the screen right there. All right. Fantastic. So yeah, you know, we're seeing dips, right? It's like the question would be, we're seeing this whole chart here. It's like, would you like to buy Robinhood at 23.9 or sell it at 23.9? You know, I think the majority of people right now is selling it at 23.9, which you can see the RSI right there. It's very oversold. MACD is substantially lower on every single metric, right? It's just many stocks are getting hammered. On what? Really, on what? We have a money printer that's going. We have 0%, very close to 0% interest rates. Earnings have been substantially amazing. We have the holiday season coming up. The Omicron variant, from what we know from Omicron, it is not deadlier than Delta, at least from what we know right now. I just don't see a reason for us to be panicking right now while the whole market is panicking. I think if we should be panicking, it should be about buying. Panic buying. FOMO, right? Imagine this. You don't buy Robin at 23.9. You don't buy Bumble at 32. You don't buy all these dips. And then 10 days later, you look at the chart. It's like everything bounced back up. See, that would be pretty horrible. I've had that happen to me several times. And I think that's going to happen to a lot of people. You know, like, what is the alternative? Please tell me, what is the alternative? To hold cash while inflation is going rampant? I mean, there was a report. I live in the Netherlands. Inflation is sitting at 6% annualized. That's a lot. 6%. I would much rather put my money into stocks at the bottom right now than just keep that cash and let it just lose its value as my purchasing power goes down. So I just think I think it's the right point in time to be dollar cost averaging. I never go all in necessarily, although I have to admit I did go kind of heavy on C3.ai here, which you can see C3 is starting to be it's starting to recover to the upside, sitting at 29.8. So I kind of went heavy on this one because I thought earnings were pretty amazing. So I think it's going to bounce fairly heavily, and yeah, mostly dollar cost averaging, a couple $100 at a time, and I think as people realize that this Omicron virus is not going to like ruin the whole economy, and as people realize that that the businesses are still doing good, that we're in the holiday season, that it's December, the most bullish month. We usually get a Santa rally. You know, most hedge funds and institutions are not selling because of COVID. They're selling because they have a lot of profits. You know, this was a very, very strong year. The NASDAQ went up like 30% in the whole year. Like, that's a big, big move in the NASDAQ, which you can see right about here. About 30.8 percentage points to the upside. So I believe that this is happening because of taxation reasons. mostly, people taking profits. It's a short-term move. It's a short-term move. Look at that, Robinhood coming back up. I mean, we have 15 minutes left. Look at these prices. Robinhood 24.1, Bumble 32.3. It's just amazing. Uber sitting at 38. SoFi 16. CRISPR sitting at 77. Beyond Meat 67. Twitter 42. Snapchat 48. GGPI 12.6. Although Sheg obviously did go up quite substantially, so I don't exactly want to touch that right now since it went up from like 24. Facebook 310. Apple 160. Apple just barely went down, right? We did expect Apple to correct from 170. We saw that was a resistance level, and it pulled back from 170 all the way back to the 160s, and it bounced off from there. So I'm very glad that I was able to kind of predict that was going to be, or was about to be happening, because it got quite overextended there. Let's see. Something is bouncing. Snowflake is bouncing. Yeah, Snowflake had amazing earnings. They beat the estimates by quite a large margin on EPS and revenues and everything. You got the EVs now selling off, which finally they're coming back down. And we're seeing a bit of that end of the day selling. Although it's not quite happening with the Russell. The Russell's firmly staying at about 2,200. But it's the NASDAQ that's most volatile. NASDAQ coming down. Robinhood is actually starting to move again. That's very pleasant. I am holding quite a bit of Robinhood. Robinhood is moving here. Does look like we might get a bit of a cup and handle pattern. Oh, look at that. 1 minute buying. That could be Kathy Wood. Who knows, right? Kathy Wood has been buying a lot of Robinhood stock in the past weeks. Could it be Kathy Wood buying at 23.8 all the way to 24.2? I wouldn't be surprised, right? You can see the volume picking up here at the last minutes. We have about 12 minutes until the markets close. Any reason to be living in the Netherlands? I think it's a great country. I think it's one of the greatest countries in the world. Very great infrastructure. I think we have everything, really. I can't complain maybe about the taxes. Like taxation can be a bit higher than other places, but overall, look at that. Yeah, that's an institution buying right there on Robinhood. Most probably. That's institutional buying. That big spike, and it's still spiking. Look at that, 1.4% right there. Uber going up 6%. Alibaba not going up right there. Bumble not going up. So it's just Robinhood. Yeah, Robinhood is finally moving. Might be that the selling pressure is just over now. Could you keep SPY chart open so I can watch and see the background market activity at the same time as I'm listening? The SPY chart. We're looking at several stocks. Oh, do you mean this right here? I mean, you can see, I'll probably have to just scroll back up and down. Maybe that's a good thing. Because then you can see all these indices and everything. I think that's a good one. Which if you don't, yeah, look at my mouse. I'm pointing to it right here. Yeah, because we already see Robinhood's price right here. So we might as well look at the indices on the sidelines. Yeah, I actually want to add more things to the list right here, but I want to keep it simple because I know a lot of people that are watching might not know what the Dow Jones is or TLT or DXY, so I want to keep it simple. But I do know some people have been asking me, why aren't you adding some other indices, some indices that are actually showing us what's happening with financial stocks or with growth stocks, specifically tech, and I really want to do that, but I don't want to clutter it right now. I got the essentials. So I am thinking about doing that, though. Just having some more information right there. But I don't want to... hold up. Clutter this. Robinhood spiked and it just immediately came back down, which is kind of sad, really. That is sad, very sad. And can we see a big move in Baba, please? Like, I'm holding a lot of Baba stock. I'm holding a lot of Baba. And I bought a lot of Baba today as well, 120. It just can't catch a break, right? It's like, come on. How many companies out there have a market cap of 350 billion and they're earning about 125 billion a year with profit margins of about 20%? Like that, how many companies? Probably none. But it's because it's a Chinese company and because China is cracking down on tech still, it's being discounted severely and nobody wants to own it. And I don't mind. I'm going to hold this one at least for 6 months. I don't want to swing trade this short term because I think this is going to take some time before it really properly starts recovering because of the issues that they have in China right now. C3 still recovering. It's getting close to 30. So how much did it go down? I think it went down about 11%. See that the S&P is going down, Nasdaq is going down, Russell's not going down. It's just the S&P and the Nasdaq. So yeah, we had a downturn of approximately from top to bottom. That was about a good 21 percentage points. It hit 27.5 from 27.5. However, C3.ai managed to go up 8.5%. So after that whale, a big institution dropped all those shares, causing the price to go back to 27.5. There was a lot of buying pressure, essentially keeping it close to 30. And you can see this right here, right? Like I said, this is the largest single tick of volume that we've seen since the IPO. We haven't seen anything like this. And it's really unlucky for anybody that's bullish on this. This doesn't happen very often, this kind of selling. And the fact that it happened on the day that they had good earnings, I mean, it just... To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's a bit irregular. China's company is going to be delisted for the USA market. We don't necessarily know that yet. I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. I mean, they've been saying that about Chinese companies since forever. I mean, every single year. It's like, oh yeah, they're going to get delisted. And then it never ends up happening. Even with DIDI, right? They're saying that DIDI is going to get delisted. Still hasn't happened yet. They're all, obviously they're going to be delisting, but it's just going to take some time there. Look at that. C3 is still climbing up, 29.93. Palantir, 19.7. What else are we seeing here? Neo is climbing back up, 36.3. Imagine not buying the dip in Neo at 34. I really don't get it. It's like, you have to understand, when the stock goes down, you're just getting a discount. So long as the fundamentals make sense, it's a discount. That's all it is. If your future projections are right and the company is projected to grow and you're getting this kind of downturn on some fear, all that is just a discount. Let's see, AMD is down, Rivian is down. Sheg is doing pretty good. Robinhood is only up 1%. Can't catch a break, right? It's just, yeah. I want to check Robinhood for like a couple seconds here as I'll be checking out the indices here. The VIX is down 9.8%. Still maintaining very high levels on the VIX, by the way. Looks like Robinhood is starting to come down again. I think the MACD is crossing or not. No, not quite yet. There's lots of buying pressure at 24.2 or 24.19. Very interesting. One moment. Yeah, it seems like we're getting the end of the day selling here. That does seem like it's happening here. C3 is going above 30. I mean, like I said, who's buying this? It's those same people that said that C3 was going to go down. JP Morgan, you know, those banks, right? That's what I think. This always happens. They come out with a downgrade or something. They're like, yeah, no, the stock is going to underperform. But if you use your brain and you think about what happened yesterday with earnings, they're growing faster. They're making more money. They have higher guidance. They have a massive opportunity with the total addressable market of C3 being just huge. So it's an opportunity. As I'm talking, it's going down, but it doesn't really matter. So who's buying this? You might want to question, like, where did this buying pressure come from? Who's buying it? It's not retail. I'll tell you that. It's not. It's the big banks. Those same people that downgraded the stock. This happened to Tesla. This happened to Palantir. This happened to so many stocks. And it happens all the time. It's just a conspiracy, right? But every single time that you get a massive downgrade on a company that's doing really good, suddenly the stock goes up substantially after a downturn here. This is a massive move, right? This is like 9% right here for C3 from the bottom, obviously, after we got that selling pressure going from this either one or two, just a couple institutions selling a big ton of C3. It's still very cheap at 30. The price to sales ratio of C3 is sitting probably like at 12 or something. It's just incredibly low. Yeah. We have about 2 more minutes until the market is going to be closing up here, and it seems like that is, you know, the markets are kind of bouncing a little bit, but the winner of today is going to be the Russell 2000 and the Dow Jones. So basically the value stocks, the recovery stocks, obviously. Two more minutes. Where is C3 going? It's above 30. I mean, look at that. 30.02. This could also be caused by a short squeeze, maybe. Maybe it's shorts that are capitulating, getting out of the stock. That could also be the reason why the stock is going up. Might be the reason. And a Robinhood, 24.25. It's getting really interesting here. $24.25. Is it going to keep on rising? We got 1 more minute left, right? 1 more minute left, and it seems like markets are going to be closing relatively green. Yeah, there was somebody in the Discord that said that if the market was going to close green today, that they would dye their hair green. I wonder if they actually are going to come through with that one. C3 above 30. And that was it for today. That was it for today, folks. The market has officially closed, and it closed green. And everybody sold at the bottom. A lot of people sold at the bottom, and I think that we're probably going to see a huge rally until the end of the year still. But obviously, when Jerome Powell says that he's going to be accelerating the taper, the market is going to start pricing that in. We have the Omicron fears, which I think is a little irrational. It's like we know it's the symptoms you're getting from Omicron is probably even less than Delta. But there was a lot of fear surrounding that. But yeah, I'm happy. Today was a great day. Was able to buy C3.ai at a really good price. I was able to buy many stocks at a really good price, and I'm grateful for that. And I do think we're most likely going to see an extension to this rally over the coming days. Next week is going to be interesting because next week we're going to have the update on CPI. So next week, probably expecting a bit more red because of that CPI update. Because if it's higher than last month, then that would be really bad. That would essentially mean that Jerome Powell would have to accelerate the taper even further. Bought the dip. Again, back to back to back. This is why I hold a lot of cash. People called me crazy. Gara, why are you not buying? Why don't you use that cash? Because your cash is going to get burned by inflation. Because I was already long on stocks. I had some short positions on Snowflake, which, print a lot of money with that. I had some short positions on Nvidia, AMD, Tesla, Lucid. Guess what happened to those stocks? They all came down. My long positions came down too, but my short positions covered my long positions because essentially I was earning money on the other side while I was losing money on the long side of things. So very happy about that. And so I was hedging my portfolio, and I had like 40% cash just a couple weeks ago. Now I have 10% cash. I don't have that much cash. I will not be buying anything for the time being unless we get like a really severe dip. I will keep my cash, 10% cash. And I bought Bumble, Shag, GGPI, a little bit of Snapchat, a little bit of Twitter, Beyond Meat, CRISPR, almost everything in this list. Alibaba, bought a lot of that. I bought some, Nano Dimension, bit of BNGO, Palantir, Neo, AI, a lot of AI today. So, we'll see what happens, right? Obviously, we don't know 100% what's going to be happening here with Omicron, but I don't think the markets are going to crash. I think this was an overreaction. That's what I think. And I think we're going to get a rebound into the end of the year very soon. So, wow. Damn. That was one heck of a day. So tomorrow I will not be able to... I don't think I'm going to be able to be there for the first live stream again because my sister's going to become 22 years tomorrow. So that's going to be her birthday, and we're going to have a little bit of a lunch together with the family. So I won't be there for the first live stream. I might actually upload something as, video format because I can't stream, obviously, because I'm going to be busy. I will be streaming for the second round. So for the power hours, around power hour, I'll be streaming extra long. So I'll kind of compensate for the fact that I won't be there for the first live stream because obviously I'm going to have to attend my, personal stuff. So, extra long second live stream. It will make up for the absence for the first live stream. But I'll also be active in the Discord. So if you haven't joined the Discord yet, do make sure you join the Discord. There is a Discord link in the description. Whenever I am not online on YouTube, I will be on the Discord. And I'm always there. So I'm always on the Discord. Link of the Discord is going to be down below in the live chat. It's also going to be in the description. So check that out. Whenever I'm absent on YouTube, I'm always on the Discord giving information in the voice chat or in the general chat. And we obviously have the Instagram, the Twitter. Those are there as well, so you can check that out. That's that. I think some really great times are coming up. I think people need to have a bit more patience nowadays. I notice that a lot of people want to see gains happen like that. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. I wish it was that way, but it's actually very difficult and complex process because keep in mind, most people don't even outperform the S&P or the NASDAQ, let alone make profits. So it's actually fairly difficult, and it takes time. It takes a lot of time and patience. So Yeah. All right, that was it for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support and the donations. Appreciate it. We'll be back online tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll be seeing you tomorrow. Have a good one. See you soon.